We're going live, and good morning, good morning. Let me also record this because I want to be able to guys use it. Cool. So I'm sort of standing here because I'm going to be moving back because I've got my whole plan in the background here, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about planning 2019. I did an amazing session with Shelby's Photograph Studios last Thursday, and it was seriously amazing. And I got some more ideas on how to plan your 2019. And I know we talked about this before, and I'm sure that none of you have done even half of what I asked you to do. Okay, so this time you have the whole of Christmas. When you're off, you finish your Christmas packages sent out, business is really slow. Now you need to start planning for 2019, okay? And so I bought one of these very shiny calendars, you know, that they covered in plastic, right, or whatever it is, you know. Because what I find is you can actually write on it and then wipe it off, okay? But for the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to decide what we need to put on our calendars. So every industry is different, right? But the main vacations, the main holidays, your family vacation is all the same. It stays the same. So for each family, you need to plan your vacation. The holidays, you know, Valentine, Mother's Day, all this stuff is coming up. I want you guys to be ready this year so you know when to plan it. So here is, you're going to buy one of these things because you can stick it on your wall, and you can put, I think you can probably write on it with a Sharpie that wipes off, not a permanent Sharpie, okay? But the way to do it is we're going to plan it out before we put anything down. So decide and look at the calendar and see what's coming up. So we have January, we have nothing really coming up unless, you know, in your industry you have something that is really important. I know wedding season happens, okay, so you have to be ready as January hits, probably now already, when everybody has been, you know, everybody's going to do their the engagement at Christmas or something, right? Or New Year's is a big engagement party as well. So you're going to be ready in January to have your wedding stuff ready. And then in February, we have Valentine's. March, we have spring break. And you know, I want to say that Mother's Day is different in Europe to America. That's why I always get confused. I think Mother's Day is in March in Europe and May in America. I don't know. I speak under correction, but it always confuses me. Okay, it's not easy to confuse. It's very easy to confuse me, by the way. We have spring break. There's normally spring break in March. We have Easter in April. You have teachers' gifts for end of the school year. Mother's Day, graduation happening. You've got, obviously you have some vacation happening here in summer or whatever you're doing, and then it goes down again, right? So you've got to you'll be ready to start the 4th of July. Susan has shop with purpose, donation drop off, you know, the hard thing happens. Then you have September, something probably happens. October, Black Friday is huge. If you've missed it this year, or if you've done really well, next year you're going to do even better, right? Every year is better. And then obviously Christmas. So stick your stickies. Remember I said buy calendar and buy stickies, right? Stick your stickies on the month when you see something happening. So, and this is going to be at a glance. I like that, but at a glance calendar that you can put on your wall and immediately know Valentine is coming up in February, right? Valentine's coming up in February. We've got spring break coming up. We've got Easter coming up. Now what you do is you are going to decide, you know, we talked about promotions, the promotions that are going to come in, the promotions you're going to do, how much you're going to promote, when you're going to promote, right? So the Valentine's, you can think about your images, your, you know, what percentages you're going to give. Are you going to make deals? what you need to get ready. Make a list for each month of stuff that you need to get ready. Okay, so this is just a global overview of the year. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually only do 3 months of the year, 90 days. And we're going to work with those 90 days. And then here we're going to start getting ready for the next 90 days. So we'll always be a month ahead. Okay, so remember, this is December. I know it's a little bit late, but this is December. So we're getting everything ready before January, before our 90 days even hits. And then what I'm going to teach you guys is to take a 2-week slot out of those 90 days and get something done in those 90 days. So we're going to, this whole coming year, we're going to be ready 90 days. And in those 90 days, we're going to have 2-week slots of what we need to work on. And then we are going to look back and see what we've achieved. Because, you know, when I'm talking to you guys and I'm saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do emails, you need to do posting, you know, it is so much work. And as Donna says, you know, she's already got page 93 that she's filling in, and she still hasn't started on page 25 yet. So let's start from scratch, right? We know what we need to do. We have those tasks in our head. We're going to write them down. And every week we're going to set aside time when you are actually going to achieve something. So here's the thing. My day starts early in the morning. Obviously not early this morning because Roy went to site, but normally my day starts at 4:30. About, okay? Then I've got an hour and a half that I can work. I'm now doing gym for half an hour, exercise for half an hour, and then I'm coming back, getting showered, getting ready, and then my next session starts of work or whatever I've got scheduled, right? So this is what I want you guys to think about is, what is your day going to look like on an ongoing basis? Like have 2 hours in the morning or an hour in the morning or whatever your schedule allows, right? You've got to really think about this and say, okay, so I'm going to do my what's it called, posting, my whatever I need to do, my socializing, 2 hours in the morning. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so 2 hours in the morning, I'm just doing socializing online. I'm sending out emails. I'm thinking about who can I schmooze with, right? And then that's it. You leave it for the day. You might be answering some questions that people ask you, or if you want to participate. But slot those things into an hour or something, because we can get lost in our social media and whatever we're doing, right? So you answer your emails, you do everything in the morning, then you have your whole day free, which you're doing other stuff, and then you know that you've got to take half an hour to do your SEO on your website, right? But this is what's going to happen. Every week's going to start, and you are going to be scheduling your week out. And if you have a month, like if you have Planoly, you can actually schedule out your whole month in Instagram. So I want us really to get into habit, and I promise I'll be there with you, right? I know I've got little wee minions that help me with this, but I need to be more active on my page. So when you're scheduling stuff out, then you know, okay, maybe I can pop just instant things in that you go, oh, you know, I need to tell this to my customers, which only enhances the experience that your people will have on your social, okay? Right. So now we've got all these big days. We've got them lined up. We've got the vacation here, and we should have another color, but we don't. Okay, so I'm going to take this vacation off, and I'm going to actually make a pink one, the vacation. So buy a whole lot of different colored stickies, okay? Because this is how you set out your ideas on how to run your company. Because if it's not written down, then it's just not going to happen. Then we're going to fall into every single season, every single thing that's happening that's important, where we need to actually sell stuff. We're going to just fall into it, and it's not going to happen, okay? So vacations. Remember, this is now a different color. Let's make it okay. So here, you see here where I've crossed it out, that's my 2 weeks I'm out of action, because I'm at I'm going to San Diego for the marketing thing. I'm not out, but I want to make sure that I know I'm going away that week. So now I'm going to schedule probably a week here where I go to see the babies, because it just gets it into your head and you're not panicking, because then you're also planning ahead for your vacations. You know, you have to think about, okay, what do I need to plan? We get this already, and it's not a last minute rush. Okay. So here is, okay, so now we're going to start with a different sticky. So we've got Valentine's here. So we know we need to, okay, Valentine's on the 14th here. Let's stick this up at the top, right? So even if you have to cut them up and stick them, just, or buy smaller stickies, you know, just make sure that it goes on the calendar. So if we know 14th is when Valentine's happens. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work back and know that our preparation should be here. Okay, we should be preparing for you know, like what are we going to promote? What are our images going to look like? I know you guys are doing last minute images. You think about your images, right? Let's say action for Valentine. I never remember Valentine's, that hard thing, right? Okay, so action for Valentine's is happening. 1, 2 is always good to have 2 weeks out, because people forget, right? So our ads need to go out, but this is our preparation. Here's action for Valentine's. Okay, so now we know that on the 20th, so it's a Sunday where you get everything ready. You know, you don't have time during the week, or if you do have time during the week, you know, you can start on Monday. But here's a good time to start thinking about, okay, so what do I need to get ready in this week? I need to get a blog ready for Valentine's. I need to probably think of what I'm going to email out to people, right? And so now you already have an active participation in your year. Okay, so remember, we're only going to talk about this 90 days. So if I was talking to Jacob and Natalie from Shelby Studio, and we actually included April in here because she's having the baby in around here. So they have to plan for that time being out of action. They can't schedule their customers probably a week afterwards as well, because we know they're not going to sleep and not going to want to talk to their customers, especially Jacob. So Jacob has to say, okay, I need to take 3 weeks of where I will just slot customers in if I can, right? But I need to have it in my head that I've got to keep those weeks free, because you never know what happens, right? You never know what happens, especially with babies, right? So now, okay, so now we have action plan for Valentine's. We have spring break coming up. I don't know what you're going to advertise for spring break. What's in March? March, and if I had Donna here, she'll tell me, Donna and Kelly, March, we probably have something else. March, what happens in March? My wedding anniversary, right? So spring break or something happens in March, so you know, okay, so if it starts happening on the 14th, you need to plan 1, 2, 3 weeks out, right? You just need to start planning here. So let's go back to emails. I'm talking about emails all the time. So a suggestion is plan your emails out when they go out. I like to send out emails in the middle of the month, because people, for some reason, businesses send it out end of the month or beginning of the month, mostly beginning of the month. So if I send it out in the middle of the month, I get better open rate. And if I send it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Amanda told me, remember Amanda's my social media guru and email guru, right? When we send out emails this time, they're better open rate as well, right? Because Monday's too busy, everybody's too busy. By Fridays, everybody's like, oh, I'm done, I want to go home, right? So now what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, I've got 1 or 2, I don't know how many emails you got going up, yeah, and newsletters going out. My emails are going out in the middle of the month, right? So now you also, again, you know, so you're going to work back and say, okay, I need a week to prepare my emails. It takes me about a week to prepare the Marina emails, because it's, you know, we need to get a blog ready, the information, I do some research on my calendars, Maybe you want to have a good article in your emails. I know Kelly has really good articles in her emails, right? So you want to put that, and that's your article is your blog, remember? So if you have one or two good articles that you want to put in your emails, you put it in your blog, because you want people to come. Excuse me. You want people to actually come back to your website, right? So don't send out your whole blog out in your email. You always just put an excerpt in your email, then they go back to your website. Everything has to go back to the website. Remember, everything. Always think website. Unless you want more likes on your page, then you're going to do likes, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. The newsletter, I know. Okay, I have to get this ready. Okay, this is action. The yellow is action, right? So here, and this should be another color, but obviously I have not done a lot of shopping. Okay, so we have newsletters going out every month. Newsletter. And I know Kelly is really, really organized with this, but if you put this out again, okay, so it's a week here, I have to get my email newsletter. So don't worry about the piling up of the sticky notes, because we're actually going to put it on the calendar with a washable, one of these Sharpies, okay, so that you have it in front of you. You know every step of the way what's going to happen with you throughout the year. But by the time 90 days comes up, you are going to be so used to doing this. I'm going to be looking at everybody's calendars. We're going to take pictures of your calendars of stuff that you have done already and thought about. So if you're talking about Karina and Alex, she's not in the group yet, but she's going to be in the group. They have to think about, they do, not fashion shows, but these trunk shows and everything. That has to go on here as well. Whatever you're doing offline and doing online has to be on your calendar, because then you also know, okay, if I have a deal coming up here where I have to go to market, right, or wherever it is, then I know that, okay, I have to start applying a year ahead, right? So that'll be on your calendar as well. If you haven't done that yet, plan it out for the following year. The years happen so fast. I mean, I cannot believe it's already Christmas. So we need to think maybe a couple of years ahead. What are you going to do for this year and the following year? Are you going to follow up? Obviously, you have to do some research, see how the trunk shows are doing. But sometimes they do better, sometimes they do not, right? So we have the newsletters going every month, right? Newsletter. Okay, so we're doing only 90 days now, right? So you have your newsletters going out. Okay, so this is your full year. We have obviously done all the days that are important in the year. You're going to put that on the calendar. And what I would do is I would actually have a sticky colored note stuck on it and written on it, so that it sticks out. It's like boom, it hits you in the head. It's coming up, all right? So you know that this whole year you've already planned out what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. So now what you're going to do is action for Valentine's, okay? So action for Valentine's is you're going to have some stuff going out on the blog. You're going to do some advertising, right? You're going to have promotions. You're going to fix things on your website that need to be fixed according to Valentine's, whatever's coming up. So think about all those things. I know Donna is not going to flip her website over to more to weddings, because weddings are coming up, so she'll get ready for that. And here's the thing, if we have out of the sandbox templates, the cool thing is you can put those things on your homepage and just take them out and put the new things on. Same as Susan, she's got season coming up every season. She can have everything ready in those sections under customize, right? And then add the new section, and then just hide the old section, and then you can unhide the section when you need it again. So with weddings, you don't need to change anything. But even Susan, if you have if you have different clothes, at least you have that section that you know, okay, that I need to unhide. I can hide the old clothes, but you just have to add new photos, right? And remember to keep those photos the same size. All right. So now we've got the newsletter, we've got actions. We know we're going to do some advertising and blogging and everything. So I want you to start. Here's how I plan out my things. So I know that whatever I want to do is I'm going to do a blog. I'm going to do an ad, which is maybe FB and Google, right? Whatever's good for us. And then we're going to be doing the website. We need to get the website ready. Okay. So you have 1, 2, 3. Is there anything else? And remember here, SEO. You know, we're going to be talking about SEO a lot this next year because it's changing a lot. So now I have a list of stuff that I'm going to do that I need to get ready. Just very quick, very quick. You don't need to think about it, because now what we're going to do is we're going to break those down to a list of stuff that we need to do, like a punch list. And here's what I'll do for you guys: is I'm preparing punch lists for all my one-on-one clients that when I do projects. I will do a punch list and put it in the group for this. Okay, so probably next week won't be very quickly, but I'll be getting a punch list ready for you guys as well. And then so now we have action newsletter. Okay, so we have action newsletter, Valentine, SEO, websites. This is all we need to get ready. So January is going to be very busy of getting things ready. Okay, so 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before anything happens, we start thinking of getting stuff ready, right? So let me talk about posting. So now we have our main things are on our calendar. We know we're going to get ready for Valentine's. We're getting ready for the wedding. We're getting ready for spring break here. Now we're going to talk about posting. We're going to be posting every day, and if you're not doing every day, we are going to be doing every day. We're going to do every day on Instagram. We're going to do every day on Facebook. I don't care what anybody says, Facebook is done, it's not so good anymore. There's still 2 billion people on Facebook, babies, and there's a lot of people on Google, and we just have to play the game, the same as the game you have to play on Etsy to get more traffic, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Every single day, we're going to be posting Instagram and Facebook. Now, so you know that you can't be selling every day, right? One day a week, we're going to be selling. So if you have, okay, let me take this off here, the action steps. I'll add them on back in a minute. So if you have, and here's where the blogs are, right? You're going to write a blog. So write a blog twice a month. You curate it, you get information from somewhere, you add it to your website, right? You add your blog to your website, times 2. So there already you have 2 articles for your email. You've got 2 posts for your Facebook, and we're going to reuse those posts whenever you don't have time. So you're going away here, right? So for instance, you're going away. So now what you can do is you don't have time, you haven't written a blog because you've been really busy. You're going to start reposting stuff in January that is evergreen, right? So think about when you're doing a blog specifically to that season, but do one that's evergreen, because then you can take, so the season one, you're going to repost next year, January. You're going to repost it, you're going to change it, you're going to add to it. If you have an evergreen, you can use it whenever you need to. We're going to reuse our posts, okay? So 2 blogs we're going to prepare now over Christmas. I want from everybody 2 blogs, okay? And put it up here, okay? Because as soon as January hits, we're going to have 1 blog for our email. So everybody's going to send out email, including Donna. Donna's going to start sending out emails as well. So we're going to have something ready for newsletter, okay, in the middle of the month. And I know that Kelly does 2 newsletters, okay? So she does one newsletter here and one news, I assume, right? So think about when you're doing the newsletters. So she has 2 blogs. Okay, okay. So here's the thing as well, is if you've done blogging already, you've already got content that you can repost and redo. Okay. Ooh, and I am. Hang on one second. I need to get my battery. I forgot to put my charger on. Maybe. And this is very hard. I've got it on my stand that Roy made for me, which is really cool. So I can stand and lounge against here and talk to you guys. So, okay, so let's go back to 2 blogs. So Kelly most probably needs 4 blogs, right? So she has 2 newsletters going out, so she needs 4 blogs. Kelly, you have so much information. You can go back on your newsletters and everything and see what you've blogged about and reuse. We forget what's in an email. Nobody remembers what you post or what you put in an email. If it's last month, they forget. People don't read. Okay, just remember that. So now, and in the blog, we're going to be talking about blogging properly as well again. I want to go through that again to make sure that you know for your headers, and we're going to put an action step at the bottom of the blog. You want to tell people what to do in your blogs, in your posts, whenever you post anything. Now, we have a season coming up, right? So now we've got a theme. Remember, I've been talking about themes as well. Have a theme for the week, have a theme for the month. We've got a theme, right? So here, our theme is obviously going to be Valentine's. So if we are not talking about Valentine's, we can put seasons, talk about seasons, and oh yes, New Year's coming up, right? So we can talk about New Year's, or aftermath of New Year's, what's happening with maybe you've got a big sale after New Year, right? So then you have a theme, a big celebration sale or something like that. So think about whatever you're going to post, think of themes. All right, so what am I going to be blogging about? Curate whatever you have, look what's out there, curate it, pop it into your blog, put quote marks around it, mention people if you've used some of their blog, put your own words in it, and the more you do it, the better it is. And believe me, the blogging is absolutely bloody marvelous for SEO, right? So there again, we're already starting on an SEO. Then you're getting your products ready. You're making sure that all your products are specific to the season, right? You're going to be working on this. So now we've got the newsletter going out. If you have never sent a newsletter out, 1 a month is fine. And actually, Kelly sent 4 a month, and she's gone now to 2. Okay. So now you've got 2 blogs. Now you have to think, okay, so my theme is for here. Let's put a theme here. So the yellow is action step. So my theme for here is what, right? And my theme from the 20th is going to be Valentine's. So the theme here is Valentine. Theme here is 2019. Flash. What are you doing? Okay. So you got a small theme there. You've got a Valentine's theme. Valentine's theme will run here and will run for a month. You see that? So now you don't have to think about anything. All you have to do is curate stuff for Valentine's. Whatever happens, even if you don't sell for Valentine's, you curate stuff for Valentine's. I'm sure everybody can think about something happening in Valentine. And slant it toward your business, okay? So think about it, and we can talk about it in our workshops when it comes nearer to Valentine's. We will be dealing with each section of this plan as it's coming up next year. I want us to really be focused on what we're doing and how we're doing it and doing it properly, okay? So we're up ahead of, I don't want to have, oh my Lord, I've got Black Friday coming up and it's a week away, right, Susan? I want us all to be really ready. I'm picking on Susan today. Okay, so here we've got the Valentine's theme. So here we can have spring break theme, right? And every state has a different spring break. So if you're international, it's different holidays, right? There's some holidays happening everywhere in every country. So it's totally according to where you live and what the culture is that you have to organize this. Okay. So now let's think about it. So you've got 2 blogs, you've got 1 newsletter going out, especially if you haven't sent newsletters out, right? So you will be able to send out 2 really interesting articles in your newsletter. Then at the bottom of your newsletter, you're going to sell a little bit, right? Hey, if you haven't been, come and shop. And I believe giving them a discount once they've been and shopped with us. Sometimes to get people in, maybe you have to give a discount up ahead, but don't make your customers get used to that, right? So an example is Kelly knows that she sent out those emails. Everybody was only shopping on the weekends because they knew she had a special going, right? So she stopped doing that. So now, I don't know how it's going, but you need to train your customers, okay? So then we have the blogs going to the newsletter. You've got 2 blogs that you're going to post. And here's a tip. You're going to post those blogs in your notes as well as drafts, okay? So in your notes, you go to templates and tabs. You're adding notes. That's where you're going to post your blog. You've got to copy and paste it. You've got to copy and paste the image at the top, make it nice and big. And you're going to have it there as a draft so you can repost it again when you need it. But Google reads uses that as a backlink or forward link or whatever link, right? So that just shows Google that you are an authority of what you're talking about because you are posting your stuff in different medias, okay? So here's the thing as well with the blog, and I'm going to be hammering on blogs this year. Say for instance, if you have sections to your blogs, 5 steps to, I don't know, cleaning your drains, right? Whatever. Now you're going to do is you're going to take each step as a post with an image. I know the images have to be important, or maybe just with a little quick video, who knows, right? But each of those steps can be a post. So if you have 5 steps, and then you've got 7 paragraphs on the second one. For every single one in that paragraph, if it deals with something, you can post as a post and then ask a question, right? So now you've already got 12 posts, 12, 13, 14 plus 2, 14 posts already. So we haven't even started thinking about our posts, right? So you've already got 14 posts that you can post in Facebook and in Instagram, LinkedIn. Don't forget about LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is a totally underused medium for e-commerce stores. And I mean, there's customers there, right? Everybody buys and they have money. Hello, they have money. So here, you see that? 14 posts, right? So think about that, right? So now we already have 2 weeks of posts that we have out of 2 blogs that we have really slogged over, right, to get this out. Now what we have is we've got 2 weeks of posts, and then we can actually maybe repost some of them, right? Okay, so in between this, right, let's put this up here. Action newsletters. This is going to be very, very busy January, okay? So remember, is educate, entertain, and behind the scenes, right? How do my business? What am I doing? I'm painting the walls. I want to enhance my environment. I've changed my office. I got ready for my year. Have you got ready for your year? Anything that people love to be involved in your business. So you're going to be telling them what you're up to. Oh, I'm going to be cleaning out my closets. Have you done that this year? I'm cleaning out my storage, all my old stuff that in my business that I need to clean out. This is what we're going to do. You're going to have employee days where you're going to say, you're going to put your employees in the spotlight and they're going to love it, hopefully, right? You got to ask their permission, but you say, hey, you've got this amazing employee, and that's going to be one of your weekly highlights. So again, so now you have employee one, and then you have behind the scenes, right? You're going to talk behind the scenes, BTS. That's another one. So now you have, and so this is on a weekly basis, right? You have this on a weekly basis that you're going to talk about employee, talk about behind the scenes, and then you're going to have +1 funny. Oh yes, and then you're going to have a meme, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can post something about your blog and post on Saturday and Sunday as well. But a lot of people not using Saturday and Sunday. So you see how easily, if you think about it up ahead of time, how easy it is to fill up that consistency that we need to get online that we are not doing, right? We're definitely not doing it. So I want you guys to get ready and start thinking. I mean, here I've just filled up my March, my January schedule, right? So it's going to be all across the board. I just want you guys to stop 90 days, stop. Okay, I want you to do the general planning out of your next 90 days of what's going to happen. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to get down to brass tacks, and we're going to actually plan out our days. Okay, I'm going to show you what I do, and I'm going to encourage you to use calendars and to use this. This is a big picture calendar, right? We know what we need to do. We're going to plan out our themes. We're going to be ready for everything that's coming up, right? But when it comes to details, we need to put that on the calendar. And the details are our action steps, right? The action steps for Valentine's, your blog, your ad, your website, your SEO. Those action steps we're going to actually start putting in our calendar and blocking time off in our calendar when we need to do stuff. Because here's the thing, life happens, right? I was with Amanda, and David was out of town. My son David was out of town, so I was helping with the grandbabies. Had a meeting on Tuesday. Isley, wake up. Isley's got a fever. She can't go to school. Okay, so that already Amanda has to stay home. Thank goodness she could stay home. Otherwise, I would have had to cancel my appointment. Then take Baron to school. The 2.5 go off to my appointment. He's got a tummy ache, and she has to go and fetch him. And so many people have kids or grandkids or whatever in your life. Life happens, right? We wake up, we feel really grotty. We don't really want to work. We know we have to, but we only work a half-mast. So those things happen every day. Something happens. My sister lost her boyfriend. Her whole life went to pieces, right? Hopefully that doesn't happen to us. But as I said, life happens. But if you've got your schedule out, planned, these stickies are not sticking. So if you've got your life planned ahead, you are going to achieve so much more than what you actually did last year. And I know you guys did very well last year. We're going to do even better next year because we're going to be super scheduled. So what I've noticed is my days are scheduled. I've got my calendar. I look at my Google Calendar every day. I've got my client meetings. I block out time for work. I'm talking to one of you guys. I'm talking to somebody that I'm helping. I block out, my workshop things. Now I'm blocking out. I've actually got my goals on my phone for exercise. It's been on there for a long time, for the whole year, but I'm actually using it. You see that as well. You have to have time for exercise. You've got to have time for your meditation, or maybe, I don't know, you've got to have time for your babies. You've got to have time for your grandbabies. Tuesdays I go and take the grandbabies to school, and on Fridays, and Fridays Isley comes home early, so 12 o'clock is my cutoff. I go and pick her up, and we do something fun. So that's what you got to put in. That's what you got to think about. So if you are super, super organized, and it's a bit wobbling, it's the boat. So if you are super organized, those things won't become stressful because you know that you have everything in hand, you've planned for it, and it's not going to stress you out because that's what stresses you out. If you're doing your job in between everything else that happens in your life, you're going to be stressed out. And who suffers is the family that suffers. People around us suffer if we're stressed out, right? So I hope this was amazing, and I hope you're going to do something. I'm going to be, this is posted live, and I'm going to have a video because I need to show this to a couple of people via the video. But I want you guys to really, I'm going to push you actually seeing this and listening to this, and I will be talking about the details of how to schedule your 2 weekly sections out for your 90 days. I love this, and so I came up with this because nobody pops up. Everybody's too busy with Christmas, right? But everybody comes back, hopefully, and checks this out. So let me know if you like this. I am going to be on Wednesday. Bye, guys. Oops. Very wobbly.